Okay, so today we're looking at Sega's Viking, Battle for Asgard, a game developed by Creative Assembly, published of course by Sega. Now essentially the concept of the game is it's set in, I don't know, Norway or Denmark or some bullshit. Anyway, any of these names are anachronistic and unnecessary because of course the realm it's set in is Midgard, if you're at all familiar with your Norse mythology. A man of few words, or perhaps more specifically, accurately, no words at all. Our hero Skarin is tasked with the seemingly impossible task of wiping out the legions of Hel. Hel, of course, being Loki's daughter in the Norse mythology. So the game is equal parts stealth and action, with some light RPG elements, quite an expansive open world to explore, with plenty of places to adventure in this hack and slash adventure. So, Skarin, if he could speak, he might say something like, "Oh wow, has there ever been a game world so bleak and yet so beautiful?" He might say something like, "Oh guys, couldn't you give me a better fucking minimap?" He may have said, "Can't I have a horse, please? There's a lot of ground to cover. The teleporters are nice, but I need a horse." Or in fact, he might even just jump in and say, "Where is my sequel, you assholes?" So, as you can see, everything looks pretty awesome. They've basically opted for a low poly background environment and character models, but very, very artfully placed polygons and textures. Now, instead of having a traditional sort of night and day mechanic in open world games, basically the game is the whole land is entirely shrouded in darkness, and it's by liberating different clans of Vikings that you will ultimately call down the goddess Freya, and it's in fact her power that lifts the darkness from the land. So your basic guide is areas that are in daylight are the ones in which you've somehow shifted the influence, and where it's dark is of course areas that you need to do a little bit more work to clear out the darkspawn in there. Now of course with the low poly model setup, they've been able to chuck a whole shitload of models on screen. And, I mean, on the surface, that seems awesome. More models is just better in general, right? Well, it can be, most of the time. But it can also end up to be pretty much a clusterfuck. Some of the battle scenes, you are completely inundated, surrounded on all sides by allies and enemies, and it can be a little tricky to figure out where you need to plant that axe. There are three basic continents or islands that you need to traverse, and in each one there are a number of pitched battles. But in order to actually begin the pitched battle, which those pitch battles are, of course, the focus of the progression in the game. First, you're going to have to liberate enough Vikings in the area to actually raise an army to engage the enemy, and you're also going to need to infiltrate the enemy holds in order to, in some cases, you might need to disable a barracks, like blow it up, or, you know, steal a particular item, or you might need to simply open the gate to allow the hordes of allies to come on in. Now, the actual combat system, you've essentially got two basic attacks. You've got your fast attack and your strong attack, but you've also got a number of special moves, and these can all be upgraded, and you can learn more and more moves as it goes on. When you upgrade, you also do open access to throwing axes and explosive vials, as well as, of course, health potions. Even though health is never too much of a problem for Skarin, because when he's starting to get a little bit low, the little orbs that the enemies spit out will start to spit out health orbs when your health is getting a little low. So the game flow basically works like this. You adventure around, you find all of the Vikings you can, you free them, meet the conditions of the battle, which is of course freeing those Vikings and finding the dragon amulets. Now the dragon amulets give you the ability to raise and effectively control the attacks of the dragons. The dragons play a minor role in the actual pitched battles, where in the battle you'll have a number of specific targets that you need to take out, and as you are taking these out, I mean, it's basically up to you which ones you want to get up close and personal with and take out hand to hand, and then which targets that you want to use the dragon on to rain down doom and destruction from the skies. So the battles themselves are really very, very large, and the whole idea of this, like, as you can see, fucking hordes and hordes of allies pouring into those gates, and once you get in there, it's really mayhem. You can use your magical abilities to enhance the powers of your troops by giving them elemental attacks to their swords, like you can add fire to their swords or lightning, etc. And it's basically up to you to go and take out the different shamans and the lieutenants, so you can get those dragon amulet pieces, the dragon runes. You can then call in the dragons and blow the shit out of everything. Once you actually complete the battles, Freya comes in and cleans it all up, and it's a nice sunny day in Viking land once again. So as far as the verdict for this game goes, I mean, I say, if you can find it, get it. I bought it at full price when it was brand new, never regretted it, even though it might be hard to find these days. If you do see it, you must get it.